So we already know that the Adidas Ultra Boost is a phenomenal running sneaker. It is also one that has a cult following for lifestyle and casual wear. But how do these stack up after wearing these for an entire year? Let's find out in this video. What is going on, guys? This is Has from CollectiveKicks.com, and I wanted to bring you guys a follow-up video with the Adidas Ultra Boost with 1 year of wear in the shoes. Now, you guys already know from my collection, I have way too many pairs of sneakers, unfortunately, for me to be able to wear one pair a ton. So I actually enlisted the help from my friend Jamal, who wore these pair of sneakers that you see in front of you for 250 days last year, and he averaged about 4 miles a day of wearing these. So he put in a ton of work. He's not a sneakerhead per se. He's somebody that just buys one pair of shoes and wears them all the time, which is what normal America does. So I thought this would be a great opportunity for us to go ahead and ask him some questions, and I'll be reading off his answers in this video. But you could see how these shoes held up after an entire year of somebody wearing these day in and day out. And it is definitely a pair of shoes that has a ton of wear and tear on them. And you do get a lot of discoloration on the Boost, as you can tell. And you could see the bottom for sure has run flat. I mean, he really ran these things into the ground, as you can tell. I don't think there is a nub of traction. The only section that you see a little bit of traction is right here in the front, and then right in the arc area of the shoe. But really, he wore these to the bone, as you can see literally right up here. The Boost definitely cracked and broke, and he ran this thing as bare as you can make it. Now, this is a V1, so because of that, you could see that they had the rounded nubs on the bottom. It didn't have the flat, and it also doesn't have the continental rubber that the newer models have. So you can see this has continental on the top. This one had no continental rubber. So because of that, I wonder if a V2 or more would have treated him better because of the wear and tear that he had on this pair. So before we get into the questions that I asked him, you can see the overall upper of the shoe looks pretty darn good. You can see there's a little bit of tearing in the prime knit right here. The overall coloring is actually pretty good. This is ironic because this is the one colorway that I wanted to buy that I never did, and I regret not buying these ones. And he got these from the Adidas employee store when they were 50% off, which is something that I could have done, but I did not do that. I feel like I should have done that back in the day. Had so many opportunities back then, and I wish I took more advantage of them than I did, but it is what it is. You could see it definitely got pretty dirty around the collar of the shoe, as you would expect. But all in all, the wear and tear is pretty decent. You can see some sock lint on the inside of the shoe as well, which would be something we would expect. You could see on the bottom, though, it still says Boost on the bottom. The Ultra is worn thin, but it still does say Boost on that. And the cage has a lot of scrapes, as we all have kind of experienced as you walk around a lot. These cages get a lot of scrapes on them. Silver ends up wearing thin, which is true on pretty much any of the pairs. The more you wear these, the more this part wears thin. I think even on mine here, you could see this Boost is a different color on the gold. So that sort of stuff happens pretty easily. The laces held up, as you could see, just the same as they were probably day one, just a little bit discolored. But I will clean these up with Rejuvenator and see if we can breathe a little bit of new life into these. The Boost is still going to be pretty much destroyed because it's really impossible to, unless you guys have found a way to actually remove the dirt from the Boost, it really does end up looking pretty dirty. But you can see the bottom, the torsion system looks like it's tore up a little bit. It has a little bit of chipping on the words, but all in all, that held up pretty good. But definitely the most significant trauma is to the sole and the fact that the rubber didn't hold up, which is kind of important to have hold up. But at the end of the day, the Boost still held up, surprisingly. So that was the thing I think people thought. From first glance, the Ultra Boost looks like these styrofoam midsoles will just fall apart, but they do hold up pretty well. This one definitely took more of a beating than the other one. So getting into some of the questions that we had for Jamal, I asked him how many days within a year did you actually wear these shoes? He said he did the math in a conservative estimate. He said about 250 days last year, averaging 4 miles a day, because he actually takes a train into work, which means he actually walks a ton to and from the train station and whatnot. So he did a ton of walking in these. So 250 days a year times 4 miles a day, that equals 1,000 miles. So dude walked 1,000 miles in his Ultra Boost. And here they are still. So I asked him, did the boosts still feel responsive? And he said they actually do. He says, I don't think that I'd go running in them because of the soles are so far gone, but walking around is still great. So this is a shoe that he actually would still wear. But to hear that the boost is still responsive after 1,000 miles of wear and tear is pretty dang impressive. At least if you ask me, I think that that's pretty awesome. So I asked him if he would buy the Ultra Boost again after wearing these so much. And he said that he would buy another pair, but he wants to wait until these stop being comfortable. And he thinks he'll probably be on an Ultra Boost 5.0 before he ends up investing in another pair, because he's still going to rock with these ones. So I also asked him the most important question to a regular consumer: is it worth the $180? He said originally there was some sticker shock to the $180 price tag. He says if you like to get your money's worth, he doesn't think you'll find a better value for your money. I asked him how they held up compared to other shoes that he wore for an extended period of time. These have lasted 3 to 4 times longer than any of his other energy boost shoes or supernovas. He said that these ones showed significantly more wear on the soles, as you can see, than the other two models within the first 20 miles of wear, but they only improved in comfort over time. So he basically says that the supernovas and the energy boost are not comparable in comfort comparison to the Ultra Boost. So I asked him if he had anything else to add to the interview, and he said that he has zero regrets about buying the Ultra Boost. The only thing is that he doesn't like to wear them in the rain. Obviously, it rains a ton in Oregon, which is reasons why I think that this stuff could be important. The fact that you could use this, the water and stain repellent for the shoes, would definitely give you a little bit of an edge, because it would make it so you have like some coverage on the prime knit and it won't soak through the shoes. So definitely highly recommend this for your Ultra Boost. Shoeminator.com, if you guys want to use code HESKICKS, 10% off of the website. If you guys want to go check that out, check the link in the description. He also mentioned that he hopes that the hype dies down on these, because when he bought this colorway, there was no hype on the Ultra Boost, and now it's crazy. So he wants the hype to die down so we can start picking him up at the employee store once again, which probably won't happen. But since he was a good sport, let me use his shoes in this video. I'm actually going to go ahead and buy him a pair of Ultra Boosts so he can have a brand new pair for his feet, because he loves a shoe, and the fact that he beat these ones up to the point that he did, he definitely deserves them in my opinion. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool that he was able to wear them so much, and that we were able to do this for you guys, because it was really, really interesting to think about the pro and con list for this shoe when it's such a phenomenal shoe, but it was hard to determine because most sneakerheads don't wear their Ultra Boost every single day, day in and day out, like he did. So the fact that I could show you these, and you can see that yes, they get really beat up, but they're still comfortable, and the prime knit held up over all the wear and tear and everything else. The only downside is this crazy boost gets really, really colored because of the materials. But now that they're doing colored boost sort of stuff, I wonder if it will be as big of a problem or not. I guess we'll find out after another year. So if I had to sum up a pro and con list for you guys in this video, the pros would definitely be obviously the comfort. The design I think is amazing. They're very versatile. They have different collaborations. They have tons of different colorways. There's a lot of stability with the shoe. The traction is good with the Continental rubber. It has a breathable mesh prime knit upper, which is amazing. Boost is a huge reason, obviously. I like the fact that they use the same models in new patterns. I think it's just a smart approach to be able to do that. And the material is very washable. Those are all pros. Also, the sizing of these I think is a big plus, because these ones are a size 10 and they fit me great. And these ones are a size 9 and they still fit me great. So the fact that the sizing can be pretty versatile if you don't use them, especially for me when I don't use them for running, I just wear them for casual. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a size 10 or a size 9, they're still really comfortable. But what do you guys think about that sizing of the Ultra Boost? Is it true to size? Is it up half a size, down half a size? For me personally, I usually go true to size if I can. In other situations, I'll go down or up, and I'll still be perfectly fine with that. The only cons that I can think of about the Ultra Boost is some of the colorways are very, very limited, such as these, which are the New York version. For those wondering, this is the New York My Adidas ones that I designed. Chinese New Year, again, really limited. And then you have other ones like the creams. So the fact that some of them are really limited, it's a pro and a con. It's a con if you really want the shoe and they just don't have them available because too many people purchased them. Also, I've mentioned this in some other videos, but on certain surfaces, they are a little squeaky, like on Target floors or Walmart or something. And then like, you know, gymnasium floors sometimes, like bathroom floors, they just get really, really squeaky sometimes. I know I'm not the only one that thinks that. Some people like think I'm crazy, but I don't like the fact that they're a little bit squeaky, but that you get pretty much from any shoe. So I get it. It's not really just that one. The other thing I don't really love about the shoe is the snugness around the ankle because it has this fixed tongue. So this area right here is definitely very snug for those people with wider feet, which is the reason why I prefer the ST version personally, because it has a detached tongue, and I love the overall comfort of that one better than the regular Ultra Boost. Also, just a couple little minor things. Obviously, we already mentioned this. The letters on the Ultra Boost and the cage gets lots of scuffs on it very easy, and probably the biggest con is the fact that the boost is really difficult to clean. It is really difficult to clean because it gets really yellow. Like you could see, this is yellow boost versus white boost. It's definitely a significant difference after these things age and wear. And it'll be interesting to know in 10 years, will boost turn yellow like clear soles do, or will boost maintain white if they're brand new? It'll be interesting to see if they actually get that weathered look. So that is kind of my final thoughts on that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and it was somewhat informative to you guys. If you guys want to see more of these pro and con videos in the future, leave a comment. Let me know what shoe you would like to see. I have a couple other ones on backlog that I cannot wait to bring you guys, but this was definitely one that was on top of my list, especially since I had these in hand and ready to show you guys. Shout out to Jamal for being a good sport. Let me use these. I'll let him know how I'm going to get him a pair in a new colorway or whatever one that he wants that I can get him. I will be working on. But thank you guys for watching the video. Hopefully you guys found it informative. We will catch you guys for some more videos soon. Peace, guys.